Arun, my dear friends. Welcome back to my channel, Be Positive with Krishna Arun. I am your dear Krishna, and today I welcome each and every one of you to the Krishna Arun Motivate Show. Today I'm extremely glad to be here in front of you with an amazing life lesson, because this life lesson has been inspired greatly from my experiences this year, as well as me making it into a narrative so that I could share it with each and every one of you. So I guarantee you that by the end of this video, you will have something to take away with you and inspire for the rest of your life. So I hope you enjoy this coming video, and let's get into the story without wasting any time. Once, there was a boy in middle school who used to talk very ill about the people he knew, about the people around him. And as days passed, these rumors started becoming more and more serious. It started affecting more and more people. And one day, his professor came to know about this. So the professor decided to call this boy into his office so that he could talk to him. And so, one day, the boy came in and stood there with not even a single bit of guilt on his face, and stared at the professor while the professor asked, "Dear boy, I am aware of the actions you've done. Have you any idea about how much these rumors that you spread affect people?" The boy just stood there, giving no response. And so that is when the professor decided to teach him a lesson. And so the professor continued, "Dear boy, to compensate for your actions, I want you to complete a small task that I'll be assigning you right now. I want you to carry with you a single piece of paper every single day on your way to school and on your way back home. And during the walk, I want you to tear this single piece of paper into bits and pieces and throw it along and spread it along the streets and roads as you walk on your way to school and on your way back home." The boy was a bit shocked. "Wait, what? For something serious I have done, the professor is assigning me a very simple task to do. It's all about tearing a piece of paper and spreading it all along the roads, on my way to school and on my way back home. What do I have to lose?" he thought, and accepted the challenge wholeheartedly. And from the very next day, the child carried with him a piece of paper and tore it on his way to school and on his way back home into bits and pieces and threw it along the roads, along the streets. And this started happening for days. It continued for weeks, and by the end of the month, the professor decided to call this boy once again into his office. And this is where the real lesson starts. The boy came in with a huge, proud smile on his face and stood before professor, while the professor asked with a very grumpy face, "Dear boy, have you completed the task that I had assigned you at the beginning of this month?" The boy with a very big smile on his face said, "Yes, professor, I have completed the task successfully. Every single day on my way to school and on my way back home, I took with me a piece of paper and tore it into bits and pieces and threw it all along the streets." As he said this, the professor had a huge smile now, and he said, "Dear boy, I want you to do one more task." Now the boy was overjoyed and said, "Of course, what should I do?" And this is when the professor said, "Dear boy, just like you tore those bits and pieces into the streets, I want you now to go and collect every single bits and pieces of paper that you have thrown along the street. I want you to collect every single bit of it." The boy was astonished. He was surprised, and he asked, "That is absolutely impossible. How can I do it? It has already spread across the streets, and people have walked on top of it. They have walked different paths, and these bits and pieces have gone their way. I can never collect them back." And that is when the professor replied, "It is just like the words that you speak about others. Either they're ill or they hurt people. So every single time, dear friends, when we speak ill of someone we know or someone we don't, every single time we speak ill of someone or we speak a word that might hurt someone, think twice before you say. Because a word that you once say to a person, it can never be taken back. It can leave them with a wound that will never heal. So whenever you speak to someone, remember that once you say a word to them, that might be either ill of them or that might hurt them. You can never take it back, and you will have no idea about how much it might affect them, it might hurt them, and it might leave them with a wound unhealed. So I hope you enjoyed this video and you got a lesson from it. Please inspire from it for the rest of your life, because we can make a better place, a better world for people to live in if we learn from this. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you all for watching, and I'm indeed grateful for all your support. Love you all.